I'll post it on YouTube if you want to find it. Literally, if you just search my name, I have a channel that will pop up, and I'll just title it with today's date and Algebra 2. I have the one from yesterday already up. What I want to finalize or finish up with based on what we have done is, actually I need to hand out proficiency scales, but one detail I want to point out is this. If you are struggling with graphing these polynomials, okay, what can you do to help make it easier to graph our polynomials? Or like, what could you do to practice? You come back after class, get some extra instruction. But I was just thinking about this. Can you just, make up
Like a random equation?
a random equation?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
100%, right? And so you can make up a random equation, and you find the zeros. You graph the quadratic, and maybe you make a mistake with this quadratic, but how could you check to make sure your quadratic is graphed correctly? And what? A calculator, right? Desmos is a free graphing calculator, and so you can just create your own equation, graph that, check to see if it's right, graph your linear, check to see if it's right, and then sketch what the dilated function would look like, that third degree polynomial. So if you are struggling with these things, make up examples and just practice it. I will give you, and that's beyond what we already do in class, right? And the examples I give you in class and the other practice problems, but you can always create extra problems, and there are easy ways for you to check yourself and make sure what you're doing is right. Pay attention to those details. All right, what I want to do at this point is, there they are. I have some proficiency scales. So one, I need you to get out the analyzing polynomials proficiency scales, and I need you to also get out the pages from the textbook.
Can I use the MacBook?
For what?
To see the work?
The textbook stuff?
Yes, sir.
We need to find the textbook, but okay. You can't really take notes if you don't have the pages from the textbook.
What's that?
Make it work anymore.
You know, just looking around there too. Huh? You must just looking around there too. Make sure. Oh, yeah. You just looking around there.
home too.
I see y'all.
Dang.
That's a free ticket to leave, man, dog.
I don't think that's
You must came afterwards.
Okay. So, hey guys, I need you to have the analyzing polynomials proficiency scale out, this proficiency scale, and the pages from the textbook. I think it was pages 225 to 248. It was this one titled Polywall.
What if y'all even got a pencil?
Well, when you come to class with a pencil, that's what.
I ain't used a pencil all day.
What have you done? Just nothing?
Yeah, I was watching movies. You know, something you watch movies. You mean boyfriend play around?
It's like the end of the year.
It's
They
like,
give me like good grades.
Yeah, your class, all the class I do work in.
I hope that is not true.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't know watch the movies.
yeah, because a lot of people are gone.
That's how it's stuff.
Don't tell me this.
That
My job as an educator is to help you get an education,
we was
and so I'm going to do my
Like the
job.
boy in the shirt pajamas.
We go right in the slide.
That's what the movie called.
So,
So sad. He died.
Why you say it?
no.
He did.
God.
He did. Yeah, watch the movie.
I ain't even see the whole movie.
All right. So, continuing the math that we're learning right now.
Yes, sir.
One other final thing I do want to remind you is this. If you struggled with graphing linear functions, do you have opportunities now to show me proficiency with that?
Yes.
If you struggle with solving quadratic equations, are you having opportunities to build your understanding better and show me proficiency?
Yes.
We didn't do any solving quadratic equations?
No.
Yes. We solved quadratics using, some people did quadratic formula, Some people, did anyone in here actually factor? No, nobody did?
Nobody.
Yeah, you could have used the AC method of factoring for this one. The vertex form would not have been fun. Say again.
JD would have used the AC method.
He probably would have. It's a good one this time. It works really well. But again, my point is identifying the features of a parabola, of a quadratic, graphing a line, other ideas like what am I trying to look for?
A word.
Sketching the polynomials. All of these things are things where you're continuing to practice. Show me proficiency before the end of the year. I will make this note, after this unit, we're going to move into what are called inverse functions and exponential functions.
Wait, when is our last day?
Not for like 3 more weeks. 2 more weeks. 2.5. Okay. So, where you been?
Oh, I got a cramp.
Where you been?
How many fish have you been on?
He went on that OCC.
Okay. Tristan, there's a purple proficiency scale back there on the mat card. Go grab it. All right. My point though is this: learn it, show me proficiency, you'll be good. So, at the same time though, you have to make sure that you learn it. Sitting back and just watching, like someone who's not here anymore, is not going to help you. Sorry, not that I kicked him out, but apparently he didn't make it back from lunch. Seriously? Yeah. He just disappeared. But it's not going to help you grow and learn. Saying, I can't do this and trying to hand the piece of chalk over to somebody else, Janiyah, is not going to help you master it. You need, no, but you got to practice it.
Oh, man.
You got to understand the concepts and you got to practice it, guys. All right. So, let's look at our, test reminder. Actually, I don't know. I know, Carly, you need to finish up quadratic test. Cameron, I don't believe you ever took your test on solving quadratic equations.
Oh, I sure did.
Dang, Kitty.
You sure didn't, did you?
I just did, but I forgot.
Bree, you never took your test.
Bro, I got
Janiyah, you never took your test. So, if I said your name, you still need to take your test. It's a 0 in the grade book. Except I haven't put it in yet. It's about to.
Did you say my name?
I did not. Quickly.
when the next time you play grades?
Today. Okay. Well, I haven't done active collaboration, and I don't think I put in.
I have been very active.
We have been better as a class for sure. But also, Mr. Arliss, remember, gave you back those demonstrate your understandings on Monday, I think. I haven't put those in yet.
I want to do it.
I didn't get my
I'm trying to do it.
I have yours because, yeah, you weren't here on Monday. Remind me after class to give it to you, okay? I hear you, but I gotta teach. Hold on. All right, so Module 1, Topic 3, Lesson 3. I will get it to you, all right? So before we get moving forward, though, I just want to look at the Analyzing Polynomials Proficiency Scale, starting at the bottom. Notice we have our key vocabulary, that's the foundation. And I'm not saying you've mastered it yet, but I do want us to think about, have we talked about quadratic functions and cubic functions? Yeah? Polynomials?
No. Yeah.
Yes. Transformations by non-constant values. Focus on dilations. Now, we haven't used that language much, but this is all I mean by that. What type of function do I currently have? You think so?
No, crazy.
What do you think it is, Janai?
I don't know. Quadratic.
Say it again.
A quadratic.
A quadratic. Why would it be quadratic?
Because the x is raised to the second.
Because x is raised to the second. It's the second degree. Okay, so I've got a quadratic. If I were to dilate or multiply it by a linear, it's now what? The cubic. So when I say transformations, it's just the idea of taking a quadratic and multiplying it by a linear. And it changes the degree of the function, right? It changes it from a second degree to now a third degree, stuff like that. I'm going to talk about rate of change in a second. Fundamental theorem of algebra. Have we talked about that one?
Yes.
Degree of a polynomial? Zeros and factors? Yes. So I need you to look at your proficiency scale and mark off the vocabulary that you're like, yeah, I know this. if we've talked about it though, and you don't know it, that's something you need to study, right? So remember, this is the analyzing things. Have we talked about identifying the degree based on the shape?
Yeah.
Some.
No.
I mean, we have, but we haven't spent a lot on it. But like, look about it. What would the degree of this be?
2. I mean,
Yeah.
second degree.
It's quadratic, so it's second degree, right? What would the degree of this one be?
2.
Third degree.
This one, sorry.
Oh,
Third degree, right? It's a
cubic.
There we go, right? It's got 2 extrema, it's got 3x intercepts. So can we identify the degree based off the shape?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Identify domain and range and intercepts. Can we do domain and range?
Yes.
We will be practicing that some more, so please notice those are things I'm looking for. Under target, determining the degree from a factored form. We did that literally today. Determining degree from standard form. We reviewed it again today. Identify the shape based on the equation. Did we do that today?
Yes.
Yeah, we did, right? We took the quadratic and we multiplied it by a linear, and so we knew it had to look like this, didn't we? With those 2 extrema, things like that. And finally, can we identify relative extrema, max and min?
Yes.
We've at least talked about it. Hopefully we can, right? So I need you to look at that analyzing polynomials, and I need you to reflect and mark off the things that you're like, yes, I can do this on my own. And if you cannot, put a check there because you cannot do it completely on your own, then that's where you need to stay during advisory, come in before school, come in after school, ask questions to help each other grow and learn.
Wait, when you talking about in behavior, like the other, like, what's the one?
Say that one more time.
In behavior.
What about it?
Like when you talking about it.
He was explain to me what it is. He ain't got there yet.
I
I'm
haven't.
gonna put a check because I don't understand.
So don't put a check if you don't understand.
You just said put. Wait, I was listening.
Put a check if you can do it on your own.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I haven't talked about this proficiency scale yet. So this one, Unit 5, starting with an equation. That's the proficiency scale I'm going to look at right now, starting with an equation. Looking at the vocabulary, have we talked about absolute versus relative extrema?
Yes.
Definitely. Domain and range?
Yes.
Yes. In behavior?
Yes.
We have talked about it. So, but remember, Bree, that's also what the Matthew was all about yesterday. But also, Bree, when we talk about in behavior, that's the end of the graph, right?
Yeah, you said that in the beginning of class. I just forgot for a moment.
But you see that in behavior, right? Like that's what we were talking about, and also being able to write the in behavior. So
Yeah,
this
I wrote it down.
is going to the right, and it's going this arrow
Going up.
up. So y goes towards. Whereas if I look at this arrow, what is x going towards?
Down. Negative.
So x is going to the left, and y is going down. Remember, x is left and right, y is up and down. So as it goes to the left, y is also going down to negative infinity. That's what I mean by in behavior, though, right? And we should, and I'll say this, like domain and range, you need a graph to be able to see that. In behavior, though, you should be able to look at the equation and sketch out an example of what that equation looks like and figure out in behavior just from that. So, for example, I don't know exactly what this looks like, but what degree is that? Fifth degree. So I know the in behavior is what?
Ooh, it's going up.
Is it the same or is it opposite? Hey guys, is the in behavior opposite or the same?
Opposite.
It's odd degree, so it's opposite.
Alright.
And is it overall increasing or decreasing?
Increasing. Oh, decreasing.
Remember that leading coefficient is negative, so it would look something like this. Can I figure out roughly what the in behavior is now?
Yes.
So it's just a quick sketch. I don't know how accurate the middle of it is, but I know the in behavior. So those are things that I do expect you to be able to figure out just by looking at the equation.
So if the degree is even and the thing is even, then it's like they're both like.
So if the degree is odd, right, the in behavior is the opposites. And the leading coefficient is negative. Think like a negative slope. So you see how it would be decreasing overall? It had almost like a negative slope through there. Okay? If it's even degree though, what was the most basic even degree we have studied? Second degree, which the graph is starts with a P, a parabola, right? And if A was positive, right, with a parabola, if A was positive, wasn't it going up?
Yeah.
So with this quartic,
So then it's even, but if it's odd, then they're different.
so odd, it's different in behaviors. Even, it's the same in behavior. And then whether it's going down or going up or going down is based on the leading coefficient. Yeah. So remember, we made a little table yesterday in class to summarize all of that, how it looks. Okay? Let's see, from there. Notice identifying degree and leading coefficient. We've done that. Solving quadratic equations. That's that's foundational, and we're still doing that. You can show me mastery, but notice it's in the foundation now. Multiplying factors to determine the standard form.
Did we do that?
Yes, we need that.
Yeah. If I had this, what would I use to multiply these?
Quadratic.
What would I use to multiply?
Oh.
Remember, when I have factors, the area model. So remember, not AC. That's two factor. This is factored. But I put my factors on the margins, and then we multiply them. Okay? So, there's that. Have we looked at determining the possible number of x-intercepts by using the degree?
Yes.
Yeah? That's been since last Friday. Possible number of extrema based on the degree.
Yes.
Since last Friday. In behavior with proper notation based on the equation by using the degree.
You gotta put that in simple words. I don't know.
Determining the in behavior
We determined the end behavior.
and describe it with proper notation. That's the
Oh, yeah,
proper
yeah.
notation based on the equation and by using the degree.
Yeah.
Okay. So mark off the stuff that you are confident being able to do for the side that says starting with an equation. And if you can't mark it off, because have we done all of those things?
Yes.
So if you can't do it, that's where we got to practice and get better at it. Okay? That's something where you may need to create your own examples, come in during tutoring, whatever. I got you.
Oh, fried, yes, fried.
What?
What are you doing?
Mr. Kenny, I want to phone my sister.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I'm dead for real. Like, so serious.
I got a rectangular piece of paper over there for you.
What you talking about?
She gone.
Yeah, she on it.
Put it up.
I'm gonna put it up.
Why can't you?
Because we got to learn stuff. We struggle to learn as it is without phones. Can't be having phones. All right. Last one.
But I'm,
It's crazy.
Mr. Kenny, I'm saying, look, it's a sign of this.
Starting with a table, graph, or characteristics of the polynomial. There's one thing on here, two things on here we haven't done a ton of. So I'm not... Actually, let's just hold off on this one. We'll come back to it tomorrow. What I need us to do is look at the polywog. This is the lesson out of the textbook that we tore out. I also need each person to have a calculator in hand and type that equation into the calculator. Be careful. But I need you to grab that calculator. Everybody go to the calculator. Get up. Go grab a calculator.
I got hit in the back with a orange.
Oh, how are you ever going to survive?
But I'm for real, Mr. Kenny. I need to go to the theater.
I need you to learn some math.
I can.
I'm talking about that one.
But my sister signed
like
it.
a softball.
Right now?
Yeah, right now. She told me that's why I called her.
They should have sent me an email that you were going to that. Huh? Almost. We said 125, didn't we?
Fried, yes, fried.
So, hey, graphing calculator. Oh, create a graphing page.
What is the calculator?
You can let me cry.
Because I'm asking you to learn
I
something?
thought she was getting the
Oh, the horror.
Oh, you thought I get calculator, y'all?
Hey, where's your calculator, Janai?
Let me get
Kendi,
some.
where's your calculator? No, they need to be able to graph it. She'll not. Then teach her instead of just taking it from her. Or ask a question, Janaya.
I did. You didn't hear me, Mr. King.
Then raise your hand so I can see it. First off, you don't want relationships. What button do you do to do cool crap? Okay, come on. Use your eyeballs, what are you gonna do?
What we trying to do?
That shit at the top.
Now, that's to analyze a graph if you already have one. Are you gonna create a graph? Oh, yeah, No, you do not need to type the Y, that's not correct.
Who?
Dog, the equation up on the,
That equation?
yeah, at the top up there. No, I was very specific.
It's a big
Long guy.
Mr. King,
I know it must be tough.
can you delete this off here?
Hit escape. Just hit escape. Okay, by the way, guys, once you get your graph graphed, or get the function graphed, hey guys, quit using relation.
It was already on there when I picked it up.
Well, they're trying to graph it under relation, don't worry about it. Graph under function. Look, once you get your function graphed, you're probably not going to be able to see it very well. So make the domain of your window. So go to window settings, make the domain from -5 to 55, and make the range from -5,000 to 20,000. So, once you get your graph in there, which you didn't actually create that one, did you? It was already there. So I need you to practice creating your own. So type that equation in there. Yes, ma'am? That was already there. That is not you creating it. You need to learn how to create it.
Which means I did all that.
No, you did not. That's a whole lot.
I should have done all that stuff up there.
Huh? So, first off, you need the x, and this caret symbol is the exponent symbol. 4. You gotta click to the right.
All the numbers up there.
You do not type this.
It's
Don't lie to me.
This is my table. I changed the number.
He would troll it though.
You said this
She
here.
was in that, she was doing a window thing.
You can't be.
For real.
Do you have your function graphs?
No, it don't work.
Girl, you ain't even tried.
It don't
Mr.
work.
It does work.
She tried on mine.
Huh?
Like, you saying the calculator doesn't work?
No, I don't want to do it.
You turn it on first. You hit the reset button. Because we've done it since the beginning of the semester. Did you say you hate graphs?
I mean,
You know that is a calculator. Like, the calculator's graphing the
I don't like
calculator.
this
I
calculator.
mean,
Get over it. It's a good calculator. What are you struggling with?
how you put the X on here?
Well, first off, you need the one up top up there.
We
In the
wouldn't even allow to
slides.
have.
Oh, we doing, I thought we were doing like
0.2319. Okay, so you also, look, you need to type the x. You see the square right there? That's exponent. That lets you do any exponent. Just raise to the 4th. Then you need to click to the right, so you get out of the exponent and type in the rest of it. Get your graph.
My fingernails. What you want me to do?
Exactly. You don't need it like that.
Oh, that might be right. Check your window.
Oh no, this is
Your
engine line.
Oh, man. I got
So you probably
It's
just need
me.
to
Did I do that right?
So set it to -5 to 55.
Nah.
And maybe change your Y minimum, because if you look at the pages of the book, it should look like that. Right? So guys, once you type it in, it should look like the pages in the book. Well, X-Men is -5 is what I told you to 55. You see how I wrote it up there?
That's all. That's not.
Alright, well, no. Type those domain and range values.
No, it doesn't look like that.
How's it going?
My fingernail hit the button and you messed it up and I'm not feeling it.
Well, these are like computers. So if you hit Control Z, it'll undo whatever mistake you
Can
made.
I ask you a question that may sound stupid?
Go for it. Sorry. Look, you also didn't type the X here. So it's not actually cubing like it should.
That's right. get messed up.
Okay, keep going. Keep going.
I need help. This is what's going on. No, not to put writing. This is supposed to be
It's just plus. If it's plus, it's plus.
So this is your minus sign,
So
not
you-
negative sign.
Right, yeah, you typed a negative in there.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
Or
minus.
is it the other one? I gotta change that one too.
What are you doing?
Just go here, go to the end, and you type in the rest. Okay. Now, especially for those of y'all that are done with this, what are the things you're going to want to do with that calculator once you get your graph created? I know, but once you get it graphed. No. What are we going to do with this calculator once we have this equation graphed? You didn't change the window like I told you to. You're going to what?
I'm drawing on the verse.
Say it louder, John.
I'm drawing on the verse.
No.
Why would you? You ain't even seen my hand right now.
Because I couldn't hear you.
Don't delete it. Wait.
I keep on getting linear lines.
Can you go back, please?
Hold
I'm
on.
not redoing it.
It's actually partially up here, but look, if you change your window like you're supposed to from -5 to 55 and -5,000 to 20,000, it should look like this, which is exactly what it looks like in the textbook.
I can't see the forward.
If you don't have, hold on one second, if you don't have that after changing your window, notice I changed the domain and range to those values on the board, right?
Yes, sirree.
So go to window settings. If you don't have that, then let me know so I can fix it. But guys, we got to be able to type an equation into the calculator. There you go, 3.
No, man, you're
So like that, remember domain is your X, so go to window settings.
Okay.
Remember domain is your X, range is your Y.
Had to make a pen.
A pen?
Yeah, I had to make a pen, but I can't. Come on, swing.
Where you been the rest of the day though?
On the field.
You were at the field trip? Dude, that is not what's up on the board. That was not what I just had.
Oh, we're actually
You
Deion
gotta pay
Gardner.
attention.
What?
How you get?
Does that look like what was on the board? No.
Well, you said a minimum and maximum.
Okay.
That's right.
First off, that says x cubed. Does this say x cubed right here?
You know I know you better than it.
Oh no, it didn't, did it?
All right.
He just wasn't assigned to me.
I was finna go.
Why you do it?
Change your windows now. Okay,
It's a night.
time. Fun. Alright, so we should, who does not have their window settings correct? So that I can help. Kendi,
What we doing?
It'll work.
graphing this off of what's
Okay, it'll work.
Am I back here?
-5.
Can I share with somebody? You don't share right
Now that means your equations. You gotta make sure that you do it in X. See how there's no X here? You gotta make sure you put that.
Anna.
What did they
now. Oh, that's that electrical right there.
You might tell me the date.
I changed it a lot. didn't I?
There you go. Thank you.
Today is the 1st, May 1st. Alright.
It's deep in the.
So, okay. So what are some of the things that, and this is what I was trying to get y'all to see, what are some of the things that we need to be able to find about this function from the calculator?
The maximum.
The maximum,
The
right?
minimum and maximum.
The min and the max, what are those called again? The bigger, extrema, okay? So I need to find my extrema.
The degree.
We already knew the degree, just looking at the equation, what's the degree? 4, which is why it makes sense that we should have how many extrema? 3, right? Do we have 3?
Yes.
Okay,
1, 2.
so let's find those extrema. There's no, does anyone remember any other important points that we should be able to find?
Yes.
Everything.
What's everything though?
Shouldn't be good.
Say again. We already talked about it. Say it again.
X-intercept.
Shouldn't we find our extrema and our x-intercepts?
Zeros.
So those are remember the x-intercepts are the zeros, right? So I need you to find your extrema and your x-intercepts using the calculator. Okay, so use the calculator. What's the button we press to do cool crap? Menu. And what are you going to do from menu?
Function.
Not,
Oh, my bad.
Analyze graph.
remember, we have the graph, we need to analyze it. Notice there's options for zeros, for minimum, for maximum, right? So find your x-intercepts, find your max and your min.
Said find the minimum and the maximum.
Yep. And the x-intercepts.
I don't even know what to do
Say again.
now.
First, I gotta make sure your equation's right. Guys, how do you do all this, the x on the cube one? Look, does that say x cubed? You see, I was like x squared, it's x, and there was x to the fourth. This was supposed to be x cubed. You see an x with that cube?
You don't know otherwise do it.
You do? Remember how we said it's supposed to be 4 or 3 or 1
Jordan,
max?
yeah, Apple Watch.
Or extreme? What's up?
You may go back. I think I deleted it.
No, you didn't delete it. You were working in the scratch pad.
Bro, I'm not doing it. I swear, I just found it.
Keep going. You need more x-intercepts. You need your extrema. Girl, you found 1 point. How many extrema are there? And how many zeros are there? 4. You got 6 more points to go.
How do you make a?
You should have told me forever ago, huh? No, you didn't. It's right there. Actually, I hit it. You did delete it. Yeah, good job. How did you delete it? Okay. Did you get? Excuse me. Yeah. Hey, did we get our correct extrema?
I can't make a point.
You don't make a point. You do menu. Remember, you analyze the graph. Analyze number 6. And you find a minimum or a maximum. And so that you click minimum, right? So you go to the left of the minimum and hit enter. Nope, make sure it's clearly to the left. Hit enter. And then clearly to the right. That's to the right. You accidentally hit it for the second time. Try it again. Alright. Guys, we gotta be careful. Alright, but we got 5 minutes left and I need to cover an important concept here.
38.2.
There you go. So, first off, Brendan, how would I classify this point right here?
Which one?
The one I just circled.
As a minimum.
As a what?
Minimum.
Is it a relative or an absolute minimum?
Relative.
Why is it not absolute?
Because the absolute one is the one that is at that one.
This one over here?
Yep.
Why is that one? So, first off, Quay, do you agree that this is an absolute minimum over here?
Yeah.
Quay?
Quasarius.
You know we're learning about polynomial functions, not the Cold War, right?
Huh?
I said you know we're learning about polynomial functions, not the Cold War, right?
Oh. Yeah, opposed.
Janiyah, do you agree? Quay, I need your eyes up here. Do you agree that this is an absolute minimum here?
Yup.
Why is it an absolute minimum?
It's the
An absolute minimum can be on the x-axis, Carly.
It's the lowest point.
Hey, are there any points lower than this one?
Why
So-
you call on me?
Because I can only call on one person at a time. That's the lowest y value there is, right? Is that the absolute lowest y value there is? No. So that's relatively low,
But it's not the lowest.
but it's not the lowest. Is that relatively low?
Yes.
So is this also a relative minimum?
Yes.
It's just not an absolute minimum. What would we call this? Is it an absolute maximum?
No.
So there's no relative max that are higher, but I mean, this y value is way higher than that y value, isn't it? So is that the absolute highest y value?
No.
Tristan, right here, see how these y values are higher? So is that highest? No. Okay, so let's talk about this then. Domain, what would be the domain of this function? What do we mean by domain, Cameron?
The X,
So all of them or some of them? The x-intercepts?
all of them,
All what? All x what?
value,
X values. Domain is all my x values. So what's my lowest x value? Yeah, does it ever quit going to the left? So what's my lowest x value? Negative infinity. What's my highest x value? What? Positive infinity. Does it ever quit going to the right? So positive infinity. So now let's talk about range. So it's my y. Okay. Chelsea, what do you think my lowest? Because we always start with a minimum. So that's minimum x, that's maximum x. What's my lowest y value? What point?
Oh, this one. Yeah.
This one? So what would be the y value? Now it's 38.2, a y value. That's the next value, so what's my lowest y value? Say that again, it'd be 2,810? Where's that coming from? That says negative 2.81 though. How did negative 2.81
I'm so confused.
become negative 2,810?
Where does the 1e plus 3 come from?
So, have you ever heard of scientific notation?
Yes.
E3 just means negative 2.81 times 10 to the third. So I'm multiplying by 10 how many times?
3.
So what happened to the decimal? It moved how many times? So you see how it's right here now instead. So my lowest y value is negative 2,810. Hey, right here. What's my maximum y?
38.2.
That's an intersection.
Notice, look,
Oh, he did say.
the y, does it ever stop going up?
No.
No. Hey, last detail I need, we're going to pick up with this tomorrow, but I want you to think about this. What is the graph doing through here? It's decreasing, right? One of the most important things that we're going to end on is something called the domain intervals of increase and decrease. So you just said it was decreasing here, right?
It didn't start increasing.
Where does it start decreasing? What x? So it's domain. What's the x value? The x value would be somewhere way over here. So it starts decreasing, not at infinity,
Negative
because it's the
domain.
domain. So it's the x, not the y, the x. Where does it stop decreasing?
Positive infinity.
Does it?
4.
How about 5.75?
I won't be here Friday.
You see how it stops at that minimum? That's the whole point of a minimum, is it stops decreasing and starts to increase. Okay, we're going to pick up with that tomorrow. Hey, don't forget that Matthew assignment, those first 2 workspaces are due before school tomorrow. Are you feeling better with the quadratics? So do that tomorrow, okay?
tomorrow,
Huh?
this test.
Yeah?
Wait, for the